So you want to travel, but you have no idea what to do or what to expect with the visa process, extending visas, or just getting a teaching job so you can live abroad for free. I know the feeling. I was in the same boat a decade ago, and there's so much information online, it never made it easy. So today, in May of 2023, I want to break down what you can expect from a visa in Southeast Asia, including Malaysia. And finally, let's talk about what's required to teach in these different countries. I do want to make it clear though, I'm an American, so the rules for me might not always be the same for you. So take my information and do a little research to kind of balance with your country to make sure these are accurate. And all this will at least give you the right idea and get you in the right direction. So with that, let's get started with the first country, Cambodia. Cambodia is pretty simple. Walking by land or flying in by airplane, any border you do a VOA and you're done. I strongly suggest doing an e-visa online though. The process is simple. You pay online and all the hassle, paperwork and all that stuff at the borders is over with. You also no longer need a photo of yourself when you do the VOA at the borders. The cost is a flat $30 for a basic tourist visa that allows you 30 days in the country. If you are considering to stay longer, you do have the option to extend up to one time for 30 days. That can cost between $30 to $60. And again, this is only a one-time thing before you have to leave. I strongly suggest though, if you're trying to do this, do it in Phnom at the immigration. It's the cheapest way to do it, and the staff all speak English. Agents are an option too in Cambodia. I'd strongly advise staying away from them as they'll usually hike up their prices almost double for the same thing you can do on your own. Now, if you do apply for an online tourist visa, there's also one called the T visa, and you can extend that one up to a year for $180. Stupid cheap. Also, Cambodia no longer allows you to convert your e-visa to a T visa, so plan this out ahead of time before you come out here. Now, if you are in the main city and you're not sure of your options, hit up the immigration and get it knocked out there before you head anywhere else. It is cheaper and just faster to do it in the capital of Cambodia than anywhere else in the country. Now, if you do need to get that T visa done, check below for the link to the I visa and get it done online. It'll tell you all the information you need to get it actually done, and it'll give you a nice discount on top of that. Now, if you do get the T visa, you can renew it for $180 for the full year, or you can do shorter terms like 3 to 6 months. You have a lot of options. And if you do go to an agent, that $180 for 1 year could cost up to $500. So instead of that, click the link below for buy me a coffee, send me $320, and use $180 for your visa. We'll call it even. Now, if you do overstay your visa though, and you want to extend it, you will pay $10 extra per day that you're over your visa. So try to get this done before your visa expires. Now, in regards to staying in Cambodia long term, I've heard 180 days is the max, but I can't really get confirmation that kind of follows a pattern. So this isn't really the in stone that I can find, even on their websites, talking to agents and talking to a few other backpackers out there. Now, if you're here to teach though, you don't want to worry about all the visa stuff. You can easily become an English teacher and stay here long term and get paid for it. And you don't have a degree? I don't care. I didn't even ask. But great news, neither does Cambodia. All you need to do is click below. Get the 15% off your online TEFL. Get that stuff done this week. Seriously, it's that fast. After you pass, you'll get your 120 TEFL certification. Completely done. And that is all the legal documents you need to work in Cambodia and get a work permit. Really, it's that easy. So start working on that this week so you can start coming out here to Cambodia and start teaching. On to Laos. Laos is less complex than Cambodia. Well, in fact, every other country is less complex than Cambodia when it comes to this stuff. A VOA or an e-visa is $42 for 30 days. And this includes a $2 overtime fee that they charge at the border. This overtime fee was confusing as hell when I first got there. So let me explain it to you real quick so you don't get in that same boat. Ideally, the overtime fee is if they have to process your paperwork in a time frame that they set. But here's the stupid part of this. 1, the paperwork takes less than 3 minutes for them to process everything and give you a stamp. 2, their time frame for this tax is pretty much all day. Seriously. Why don't they just call it a tax or stamping fee instead of overtime? It's weird, and when they try to explain it to Westerners when we were out there, it was confusing everybody all to hell. Because it's like 11 o'clock, bro. What do you mean overtime? But anyways, if you do want to extend that e-visa or that visa, you can up to 60 days. You just have to pay a $3 processing fee plus some other fees we'll talk about in a minute. You can pay for how long you want to stay up to 60 days max. And then you have to leave and do a visa run and all that stuff. If you are walking in when your visa is already expired though, you're looking at $10 per day to extend plus all the past stuff. So get it done a few days in advance and avoid that. Because if you don't, or if you do get this done beforehand, it's only $2 per day. Huge difference. You can stay in Laos up to 180 days per year. And you should keep track of this as well. Laos is very serious about blacklisting people. It's kind of weird, it is word around town with Laos, that just blocking people and never looking back is the normal. And when I say not looking back, you are permanently banned from Laos for life. If you want to stay longer, you can't just teach English in Laos and be a teacher here. There are a lot of options, and the pay versus cost of living is pretty well balanced. All you need in Laos to legally work is a bachelor's degree and a 120-hour TEFL. That's it. Now on to the south, Malaysia. Malaysia has to seriously be one of the easiest processes with almost no delay in immigration. You can come in a 90-day stamp and you're on your way. My whole process from plane to actual taxi from the airport was about 10 minutes. Even the lines go fast. After your 90 days though, there is no way to extend this stamp. This is a one-time thing, so you're going to have to do a visa run after your 90 days expires. But there is a limitation to this. Once again, 180 days. You're starting to see the pattern. This number is becoming a trend if you haven't noticed. So when you get here, get your stamp, enjoy your time, enjoy your hotel daily fees, and then after those 90 days, do a visa run and come back. You will see though, on your second stamp, they will stamp it with a red circle, or they'll write down on a pin like a red circle. This is our note to let them know that this is your last time that you're allowed to enter within this calendar year. They will push you back if you've tried for a third stamp in this year. Reddit has countless stories of this if you need any type of proof. You can stay longer teaching English. Malaysia has a high option and demand for English-speaking Western teachers. You can start at any time of the year as well, as schools are always looking for teachers, so you're not focused on like semester hiring. Again, all you need for this is a bachelor's degree and a 120-hour TEFL to legally work here. No problems. I almost forgot. Malaysia has a unique rule to this that other countries don't tend to have. You have to be at least 27 years old to teach here. This is not a request from the schools or the parents. This is the law from Malaysia. So if you are younger than 27, your company is not going to bribe your way in to get you into this job. No school is going to risk their business for you. Sorry. Thailand. The land of smiles, the land of the free. Thailand, beautiful Thailand. Thailand makes things pretty simple, and their immigration extension process is similar to an American DMV. As in, you can get things done, but man, is it like chickens running around with their heads off sometimes. So landing, you get a 30-day free visa exempt for free. And you are allowed to extend that one time for another 30 days for 1,900 baht. Even though I made the joke about DMV immigration office stuff, typically a few hours you are in and out. It's that easy. Once you get to know the system and what paperwork you need to get in and out, you can be out in less than an hour. It's just when you first get in there, it can be a little confusing. Limitations for Thailand are similar as the rest. 180 days per year as a tourist. Also a weird one that I found out is if you're doing border land runs, you can only do these 2 times a year. After that, your third one, you have to fly in. You got to show love to the airport too, right? Thailand does offer an official tourist visa process that you can do online with the link below. You just have to verify your income and some other things. This will allow you to stay longer per visa, up to 3 months per tourist visa. And this just means less visa running, but you are still limited to the rules of 180 days per year you can stay in Thailand. This just reduces the visa runs. Also, the Thailand pass is done with. Finally. So no more of that mess. If you do plan to stay in Thailand to teach, all you need is a bachelor's degree, your actual transcripts, and a 120-hour TEFL. Again, link below if you want to get this TEFL done over the weekend. 50% off. Just get it done this weekend. It's quick and easy, I promise you. Plus, the TEFL is approved by Ministry of Thailand, so it's a win-win. Can't go wrong. Vietnam. What everyone's been waiting for. Vietnam. Why was it last? I don't know. Blame the alphabet. You can get an e-visa for $25 flat online. Get it with the link below or go directly to their government website. Do not use agents for this. I repeat, do not use agents for this. They still are scamming and they're still talking about next day e-visas, which is not possible as the government does take up to 4 days to get it done. And what you'll get is when, after a few days, we email and say, hey, where's my visa? They're going to send you a message saying, sorry, the government's behind. It has taken a few extra days to do it. Meanwhile, you pay like 60 bucks. Do it yourself is that easy. Hell, send me a super chat for $35 and your information. I'll do it for you. 4 days guaranteed. I'm joking. Extensions for this e-visa are not an option at all. Once your time is up, you have to leave. You can do border runs as many are already doing, but it can run you up to $100 per run depending on what part of Vietnam you're staying on, as you have to go to other countries that make you buy a visa from them as well. Cambodia, Laos, for example. Also, Vietnam is talking about bringing back the 3 and 6 month tourist visas, but I highly doubt it. The benefit to Vietnam is little, and honestly, it keeps Vietnam, well, Vietnam, as they like it. My other videos, I talked about this before, but in short, tourists that stay long-term in Vietnam start to live there, and they start spending like local Vietnamese. Thus, they are no longer high-spending tourists, they are local spenders. No bueno for Vietnam government. It's also important to note that Vietnam has been talking about limiting visa runs as well. The number currently on the table is 3 visa runs per year or 120 days. My lawyer stated possibly 2 or 3 times per year, but he wouldn't confirm it to be 180 days like the other countries in Southeast Asia. Now, if you do want to stay here long term, not deal with all this stuff, it's pretty easy. Bachelor's degree, 120-hour TEFL. Become a teacher. Now, if you are already out here on an e-visa and you want to become a teacher, there is a benefit to those to change your visa. This started a couple years ago with Decree 152 law, where a business can convert your e-visa to a business visa. So you will have to find a legit job, but they can get you a business visa without having to do a border rip like they used to be. And one last thing before we get out of here. Pandemic testing and insurance. I've been getting asked a lot about this, who requires this and whatnot. None of these countries we've talked about today require any of this stuff anymore. Should you have insurance though? Yeah, of course, but it's not required. So I hope this helped you guys out with the visa questions. I've been getting a lot of about different parts of Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, yada yada. This should answer those basic questions. And as long as nothing changes in the next couple of days, this should be valid for some time. So if you have any other questions, let me know below and I'll answer the best I can. But till then guys, I will see you again.